We take games seriously.
Hey, I've got the much underappreciated Drakan for PlayStation 2. This one's developed by Surreal Software. Now, you play as a character named Rin, who's this fearless adventurer, and she has control of a dragon, and that's the coolest thing about this game. Now, Rin is actually very, very deadly on her own. She's got her very cool bunch of moves, and she can pick up different weapons and beat up on giant ogre guys and all kinds of really nasty-looking fantasy-type creatures. It's basically an action-adventure type game, like a Tomb Raider. It's also a fairly large role-playing type game as well. There's a big story, lots of narration, lots of dialogue, lots of voiceover stuff throughout the game. And the story is actually very well told. The acting is very solid. The environments are beautiful. This is a very fun game, and unfortunately not very many people played it. It's called Drakan the Ancient Gates for the PlayStation 2. Go check it out, it's fun. Today it's a couple of tactical action games. We've got Socom II US Navy SEALs from Sony for the PlayStation 2 versus Counter-Strike from Microsoft for the Xbox. What did you think about the graphics of these two games?
Well, hands down, there's no contest at all. Socom II definitely blows away Counter-Strike in every essence of the term graphics, from the character detail to the weapons to the environments, but even all the cool effects. Like when you go into sniper mode in Socom, it like does this little focus blur before it fixes.
It's amazing.
All gold.
Absolutely. The foliage in Socom 2 is gorgeous. You can actually drop down and hide in there, totally camouflaged, and do some really cool sniper moves. The rain sheets, the sheets of rain that come at night, just look incredible. Counter-Strike, on the other hand,
looks dated.
It is dated. It's based off of the Half-Life engine, and it's, you know...
Looks like a first-generation PlayStation 2 game or something.
Yeah, it definitely is old. They added some bump mapping to the environments. I like the character models and the details on the outfits and uniforms that they wear. That stuff's pretty cool. The thing that I do like, when you compare the two, the frame rate on Counter-Strike is rock solid. It's very fast. The control is very precise because of it. And Socom 2 has some sort of clunkiness and some frame rate chugs from time to time. All right, in terms of gameplay, what did you think of these two games?
With Socom 2, it feels like you are in those situations.
Absolutely.
Whereas Counter-Strike, I just feel like I'm playing another first-person shooter with a couple of buddies behind me. We went online and there were 20,000 users, and this was pretty late at night, all playing
on
Socom 2 at the same time. Wow.
They do stack up in a bunch of ways kind of similarly. You've got 18 online maps in Counter-Strike, you've got 22 online maps in Socom 2, but when you go into the single-player experience, Socom 2 really delivers. You've got 12...
Is there a single-player experience in Counter-Strike?
In Counter-Strike, you get basically a training mode with like AI bots and stuff, and the AI is very solid, and you will become a better player playing through that, and it is fun, but Socom 2 has this really cinematic, immersive mission structure where you get to play with all of your AI teammates.
And in Socom 2, they also have a voice recognition headset as well, so you can direct your troops where to go.
In Counter-Strike, what's different about it this time, everybody's been playing the PC version for so long, but with the voice communicator, you'll see that the strategies with working with teammates much sharper, much better defined. Now, what about the audio of both these games?
Well, again, you know, no contest in my mind. I mean, Socom 2 has this great interactive musical score, which is very kind of Hans Zimmer. The ambiance, I thought they nailed perfect as well. You can hear the wind through the bushes and the trees, and of course, you know, both games have really good weapon sounds.
Yes.
But again, I thought the more realistic weapon sounds once again goes to Socom. Counter-Strike is at it.
Yeah, the weapons sound great, and there's lots of little tactical comments sort of going on by the AI guys.
Follow me. Roger that. Affirmative. Hold this position.
And the other thing, audio-wise, we need to talk about is that when you're wearing the headset, you get your teammates in your ear and not on the speaker. So that, again, adding to the audio realism.
And all your mission briefings and everything like that comes through your earpiece. So overall, what are your impressions of Socom 2 and Counter-Strike?
Socom 2 is an amazing experience. I normally don't really like these tactical squad-based things, but here's a game that just puts you so much into the action that you gotta go for it.
Counter-Strike is still very fun. It made a great transition to the Xbox. But for me, there's no contest as well. Socom 2 is brilliant. So what are you going to give Counter-Strike?
Counter-Strike gets about a 7.5.
I'm going to give it an 8. What about Socom II, U.S. Navy SEALs?
Socom II, definitely a 9.
9.5 from me. This is near perfect.
So it looks like this time around, Socom II definitely gets the victory.
Absolutely.
Today on the show, we took a look at True Crime Streets of LA for the GameCube, but it's also available for the Xbox and PlayStation 2. There's some very cool storytelling and great voice acting in this game, but really, it's not as fun as Grand Theft Auto. On the PC, we looked at Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. There are some amazing visuals and very tight controls in this action game, but the game is over a little too quickly. On the PS2, we looked at Manhunt. This one has amazing, gory atmosphere, but it's got some repetitive gameplay and some serious control problems. In Versus, we looked at Socom US Navy SEALs 2 for the PlayStation 2. This one features amazing presentation and a lot of depth in the gameplay. We compared it to Counter-Strike on the Xbox, which has great, fast online gameplay, but some dated graphics. So obviously, the winner this time was Socom II. In hardware, we looked at Gamester's FPS Master for the Xbox. You never have to take your thumbs off the thumbsticks with this one, but it takes a little getting used to. On the Game Boy Advance, I reviewed Max Payne, which is a terrific adaptation of a classic action title.
Bump mapping to the environments. I like... Don't do that anymore. And I like the...
Oh, the great thing is that this is our mature rated show, so we can say stuff like...
Right.
And although they bleep it out, I still feel more comfortable saying it.
That's nice. You got that all out of your system. It's all good. We can get into the reviews now?
Okay.